Hello and welcome to Perspectives for Monday, November 7th, 2016. I'm Deacon Pedro. This morning, the Holy See Press Office released a statement clarifying that the Vatican has not authorized any episcopal ordinations in China. The statement refers to a series of reports in recent weeks regarding bishops being ordained in China and says that, should such episcopal ordinations have occurred, they would constitute a grave violation of canonical norms. The statement continues that it is not licit to proceed with any episcopal ordination without the necessary papal mandate, even by appealing to particular personal beliefs. This is not the first time that reports of illicit episcopal ordinations come out of China. And this morning, Pope Francis spoke out against human trafficking in an address to members of the group Renate, Religious in Europe, Networking Against Trafficking and Exploitation. The group is in Rome for their second European Assembly. The Holy Father commended the work of Renate in raising public awareness of the extent of what he called this scourge which especially affects women and children. Pope Francis also praised the group for their faithful witness to the gospel of mercy, as demonstrated in their commitment to the recovery and rehabilitation of victims. You can learn more about the great work of this group at their website, renate-europe.net. And yesterday, Pope Francis celebrated Mass to conclude the last of the Jubilees of Mercy, this one for prisoners. Around 1,000 detainees from 12 countries took part in the weekend celebrations, along with their families, prison chaplains and staff, and various associations. The Holy Father urged those in prison to maintain the breath of hope. Hope, said the Holy Father, is a gift of God and should be nourished. The Holy Father also reminded those in prison to not be held captive by their past mistakes and never yield to the temptation of thinking that we cannot be forgiven. The Jubilee for prisoners marks the final major event of the Jubilee of Mercy before the closing of the doors of mercy around the world on November 13th and the closing of the Holy Door at St. Peter's Basilica on November 20th. Following the celebration of Mass for the Jubilee of Prisoners, Pope Francis recalled the Paris Agreement on the Climate of the Planet, which came into effect last Friday. The Holy Father said that this proves that humanity has the ability to work together for the protection of creation and to put the economy at the service of people to build peace and justice. The Pope also expressed the hope that a conference on climate, which opens today in Morocco, would continue its work aimed at caring for the common home. And during his Angelus address, Pope Francis remembered the 38 martyrs who were beatified on Saturday in Albania. The Albanian martyrs were killed between 1945 and 1974 by the communist regime, and in April of this year, the Pope gave the official approval for these beatifications. Catholics currently make up a tenth of Albania's population of 2.9 million, making them the second largest religious group after Muslims, many who also died under communist rule. And on Saturday, the Holy Father welcomed the Third World Meeting of Popular Movements at the Vatican. The meeting brings together organizations of people on the margins of society, including the poor, the unemployed, and those who have lost their agricultural land. In his remarks, Pope Francis warned against the rule of money, which governs with the whip of fear, inequality, and violence, economic, social, cultural, and military, which creates more and more violence in a downward spiral that never seems to end. The Holy Father told the organizations that they are called to revitalize and reestablish democracies going through a real crisis, and prayed that God will fill them with love and provide them with the strength and courage to break the chain of hatred. And finally, congratulations to Cardinal-designate Joseph Tobin, whom the Holy Father has just named Archbishop of Newark, New Jersey. Archbishop Tobin, currently in Indianapolis, will succeed Archbishop John Myers, who has reached retirement age. And that's all for today. May you be blessed, and to our friends south of the border, as you go to the polls tomorrow, our prayers are with you.